the Qliphoth, powers of darkness of the occult, such as Lilith, but we're going to go into various names of these demonic entities and where they are to be found, even on planets. Lilith is, as we know, what was supposed to be, according to the Cabal, on Earth, supposed first wife of Adam. Even if the dark and infinite ocean of non-physical reality escapes any attempt at mapping, the Qliphoth offer esoteric landmarks to those who venture beyond the far side of the moon. This system of progressive self-initiation of the sinestral way helps to structure an unknown territory by introducing a form of rationality understanding by ordinary consciousness in an occult domain. Each Qliphoth represents a state of consciousness involving the development of certain faculties through trial, study, and contemplation of symbols. Mastering the energies present in each sphere opens access to the next Qliphoth, the Qlipha. Now, this is, of course, not to be done. The black magic, green magic, yellow, white magic, whatever is magic, it's demonic, and we are not to do that. Now, let's remember, though, that a demon may look terrible, but he may also look like an angel of light. If you read the New Testament, the Apostle Paul, St. Paul, tells us that that is how the evil one, the devil, appeared to Eve as an angel of light. And she was enticed by his appearance, and he was telling her various things that were not true, because she was seduced by his appearance as an angel of light. Now, if we refer to the Kabbalah to position the Qliphoth on the nocturnal face of the tree of life, domain of the Sephiroth, the tree of death is accessible by Dath, the hidden Sephira, making the link between the two aspects of the same reality. Although the night-day, good-bad, life-death duality is not ultimately relevant, it's advisable to start by exploring the tree of life before venturing into the shadow of this knowledge. Indeed, choosing this perilous and lonely path is not a decision to be taken lightly. Motivated by the desire for dazzling advances and the acquisition of supranormal powers, the follower cannot ignore the dangers that await him. He consciously enters the centers of power, taking the risk of losing what he has, what he is, what he knows. It's a sacrifice where madness, depression, hopelessness, and perdition are potentially present. Silence and darkness reign, inviting to the sobriety of emotions and thoughts. Only the one whose inner strength has become unshakable by a preliminary asceticism is able to face the monsters lurking in the shadows who will try to devour him. The terror of annihilation is its guardian, the test that warns and discourages those who are not ready. Being ready to lose everything is the sine qua non for overcoming obstacles as a master capable of transforming them into powerful levers towards forbidden knowledge. Equanimity, discrimination, unshakable self-confidence, and fortitude are the weapons that will allow the initiate to continue to go even further without being destroyed, but recreated for the birth of the living demonic God. That's ridiculous. So, okay, this was obviously, you can understand how dangerous this is. Now, the promises of the Qliphoth attract those who desire full realization by integrating light and shadow beyond the primary dualities. Wisdom advises to follow a prudent progression without skipping the stages under the excess effect of an immature pride. The keen senses and intuition detect and analyze anomalies, hallucinatory aberrations of a twilight consciousness in order to realize the potential beyond imagination. And we also have this chart, number, planet, path, Qliphothic order in Hebrew, Qliphothic order Latin name, and translation in English. For example, Pluto is path Kether, Qliphonic order in Latin is Thamliel. Let's go to Saturn, number 3, is Satoriel, the concealed ones. Let's go to number 11, Uranus, Dath, Belial, the worthless ones. For Jupiter, Chesed, Ga-Ag-Shebla, the smitten ones. And let's go to Lilith, number 10, Earth. Path is Malkuth, Lilith, the queen of the night. Okay, and you can see the various names there in the article. I'll leave a link below for you. The Qliphoth powers of darkness. The 11 levels of the Qliphoth way, by way of information and in order to give a more concrete idea of what the initiation of the Qliphoth may involve, you'll find below the translation of the text describing the different spheres. These descriptions are not absolute, but rather fall under the subjectivity of the author as Senath Mason, and in no way constitute the dogmatic truth. What everyone finds on their journey is personal and can take different cultural and symbolic forms. Maybe these descriptions of Qliphoth will speak to you, maybe not. Make your way, your own way, find out for yourself what is hidden in each sphere of power. Only the interior transformation process is universal, but remains in the elusive, eluding definitions and classifications. Lilith, Queen of the Night, the door to the unknown. Here the initiate comes into contact with his first guides and allies on the way. The consciousness opens up the realm of night. Lucifer's ascending flame is lit and Lilith approaches to guide the initiate through the paths of dark path. The divinity of the first Qliphoth is Naamah, dominating the material world. She can grant the magician the desired material goods, but she is endowed with a despotic character which is difficult to manage. Naamah is Lilith's demonic sister, both of whom often introduce themselves as the first guide to entering the dark worlds. You can understand how terrible this is. This is demonic magic. Another name that we're familiar with from the New Testament, Gamaliel. Gamaliel in Hebrew means the obscene, the astral sphere of dreams. Here the initiate explores the mysteries of witchcraft and sexual alchemy. The goddess of the moon reigns there. She introduces a follower to the secrets of moon magic. In the sphere of Gamaliel, all forbidden fantasies, suppressed lust, and shameful dreams are brought to light. The goddess of Gamaliel is Lilith. Appearing as a sensual woman with a snake body, it seduces the magician and guides him in the dark aspects of our instincts. She's the queen of demons and reigns with Lucifer over the entire Qliphothic tree. Samael, the poison of God. The alchemical poison is ingested by the magician who succumbs to its toxic effects. His conscience must overcome trials in which madness, doubt, and disbelief assail him. It's not about contact with the personal, deadly shadow. It teaches the initiate the mysteries of death and the flight of the soul. Here in the Adramelech desert, the faith and devotion of the follower are tested. Adramelech is the sovereign entity of this Qliphoth under the appearance of a half peacock, half human creature. It gives the magician pride and magnificence, which however are only illusionary and contribute to the initiatory test. Araba Zagrag, the crow of dispersion, the mystery of Venus and Luciferian magic. The initiate takes the path of mystical eroticism and war trials. Ab-Zarak breeds destruction, often through war, conflict, and death. The god reigning over this Qliphoth is Baal, the god of war. He has the appearance of a warrior with a horn mask and armed with a spear. He instructs a magician in the art of invisibility and teaches him about Luciferian freedom. His wife and reigning goddess of this sphere is a dark Venus, initiator of new mysteries of sexual magic. Thagirion, the opponent. The illumination of the dark side by the light of the black sun. The initiate experiences the union of God and the best in him and realizes the idea of embodied divinity. Thygirion is the sphere of the daemon, the image of the personal god, and of the beast 666, continually striving to dominate human instincts. The reigning god of this Qliphoth is Belphegor, the god of death. Belphegor was originally a Moabite deity named Baal Peor, half male solar and female lunar. During magic works, it manifests itself in its bestial form, but also in an appearance of a young woman. It gives a magician imagination and wealth. Golachab, the burning one. The apocalypse, the initiate becomes a fire of destruction. Through SM sexual practices, the initiate is tested in suffering and lust. It is the Qliphoth of fire, comprising both the creative flame and the destructive breath. The Qliphoth is the domain of Asmodeus, who appears as a winged and flaming god. It represents both the power of fire and the power of sexuality. The incubi and succubi of this sphere are the strongest and most violent of the whole Qliphothic tree. Ga-Agshebala, the executioner, the other side of the mystical eroticism. The initiate goes through trials of war and love and becomes the executioner. The energies of this Qliphoth bring life or destruction. They destroy the substance of creation at the base of the foundation of the universe. The reigning deity of this sphere is Astaroth, a foul-smelling spirit, riding the dragon and holding a snake in his hand. He sees beyond the past, present, and future. He is also the patron of the liberal arts. Daath, the vision of the abyss and the encounter with Korozon, the gatekeeper. Satariel, the illusionist. The opening of the eye of Lucifer. The initiative faces trials where surrealism and absurdity dominate, and learns to detect the truth in what is hidden. Appearances are deceptive. Lucifer presides over this Qliphoth, the one who avoids the light. Its description appears in many medieval and Renaissance grimoires on hierarchies of demons. It reveals hidden treasures, but can also make the magician lose his mind. Chigiel, the destroyer, the lightning of the Luciferian star. The initiate breaks divine law and prepares to enter Lucifer's throne room. It is a Qliphoth of rebellion and shaking of the foundations of the world. The dominant entity in this sphere is Belzebuth, the lord of the flies. Thaumiel, the twins of God. Fulfillment of the serpent's promise. The initiate becomes God incarnate. This Qliphoth is double with two reigning entities, Satan and Moloch. Thaumiel is the antithesis of Kether. The original meaning of Satan is the opponent. In the Old Testament, he was the accuser, and he tried and tested the faith of humans by misleading them. Moloch was a Canaanite deity whose worship involved the sacrifice of children by fire. So you can understand how terrible these demonic entities are and what they do. Even the foundations of creation and the whole universe is what they want to destroy. So away from them. This is from Solask. I'll leave a link below. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box.